Real wealth doesn't try to be seen. It assumes it will be recognized by the right people and ignored by everyone else. That's the difference. True wealth isn't loud, trendy, or desperate for validation. It's slow, it's deliberate, and it's built around objects chosen not for attention, but for permanence. The things you're about to hear aren't expensive by accident. They cost what they cost because of time, history, restraint, and scarcity. The four currencies real wealth respects most. Start with watches. Real wealth avoids novelty. It doesn't chase hype releases, diamonds, skeleton dials, or marketing stories. Instead, it gravitates toward understated mechanical watches. Pieces like a Patek Philippe Calatrava, an A. Lang Enamp, Sona Saxonia, or a Vacheron Constantin Patrimony. No gemstones. No loud complications. Just precision and longevity. Warren Buffett wears a simple Rolex day date, not because it impresses anyone, but because it's familiar. Bernard Arnault, who owns the world's largest luxury empire, is often seen wearing discreet watches that would go unnoticed in a crowd. These watches aren't designed to impress strangers. They're designed to outlive the person wearing them. Real wealth buys objects meant to survive ownership. That same mindset shows up in clothing. Truly wealthy people don't follow trends because their clothes are made once, properly. Hand-tailored suits from Savile Row, Naples, or Milan. Shirts cut around posture, shoulder slope, and how someone stands when thinking. Shoes made by a single craftsman and resoled for decades. King Charles is known for wearing the same coats for over 30 years. Italian industrial families pass down tailors the same way others pass down family recipes. The clothing never looks outdated because it was never trendy to begin with. Real wealth doesn't refresh wardrobes. It maintains them. Then there's transportation. New money wants attention. Old money wants movement. That's why real wealth favors quiet, high-end sedans and SUVs. Vehicles like the Mercedes-Benz S-Class, the Bentley Flying Spur, or the Range Rover Autobiography. Always neutral colors, calm interiors, no aggressive styling. World leaders and billionaires arrive quietly, step out calmly, and walk straight into rooms where decisions are made. Queen Elizabeth famously preferred understated Range Rovers. CEOs like Tim Cook avoid supercars entirely. To real wealth, a car is a tool, not a statement. The same restraint appears inside the home. The ultra-wealthy don't decorate. They curate. Homes filled with antiques, heirloom furniture, and objects chosen for provenance rather than trend. Hand-carved dining tables. Furniture older than modern capitalism itself. The Rothschild family famously filled estates with objects that predate most modern nations. European aristocracy lives among items selected not to impress guests, but to anchor lineage. Antiques communicate one quiet message. This family has been wealthy long enough to stop redecorating. And somewhere in that home, there's almost always a private library. Not shelves for aesthetics, but collections of first editions, out-of-print works, signed volumes, and rare manuscripts. Bill Gates owns one of the most valuable private libraries in the world, including Leonardo da Vinci's Codex Leicester, purchased for over $30 million. These books aren't read casually. They're preserved as intellectual artifacts. When knowledge survives time, it becomes power. Even leisure follows the same logic. Old money yachts are designed for privacy, not attention. Muted colors, minimal branding, no oversized chrome. Roman Abramovich's yachts were intentionally understated for security reasons. In the Mediterranean, the most powerful vessels often blend in until you notice the crew outnumbers most homes. The goal isn't to be seen, it's to be unreachable. Art follows that same pattern. True wealth doesn't buy art for decoration. It buys oil paintings, sculptures, and works that require context to understand. A Rothko hanging quietly in a private dining room. A Giacometti sculpture placed where guests casually walk past it. David Rockefeller's collection wasn't about taste, it was about legacy. If artwork needs explanation, it's not meant for display. It's meant for lineage. Even small objects reveal the difference. Real wealth still writes things down. Custom stationery, heavy paper, fountain pens from Mont Blanc, Pelican, or Waterman. Warren Buffett still writes letters by hand. European royalty uses handwritten correspondence for serious matters. When something matters, real wealth slows the process. The same applies to travel. The richest travelers don't replace luggage, they repair it. Hard case Louis Vuitton trunks, aged Goyard pieces, leather bags marked by decades of movement. Scuffs aren't damage. They're proof of history. Jewelry, too, is different. Not collections, not rotation. One ring, one bracelet, one necklace, often inherited, often uninsurable, never explained. Queen Elizabeth wore the same pearls daily. European heirs wear signet rings tied to centuries of family history. When jewelry becomes permanent, it stops being fashion and becomes identity. Even dinner reflects this mindset. Real wealth eats off history. Handmade silverware, porcelain sets passed down through generations. Royal households still dine on centuries-old tableware. On private estates, meals are rituals, not routines. Even the table becomes inheritance. And finally, the smallest details matter most. Briefcases, desks, shoehorns, umbrellas, personal items made by one craftsman. When something breaks, the same person fixes it. This is wealth that values continuity over convenience. And that's the pattern. Real wealth buys fewer things. But each thing lasts longer than trends, attention, and sometimes people. That's the signal. If this changed how you see luxury, comment which item surprised you most. Like this if you want more real-world wealth signals. Share it with someone who still thinks money has to be loud. And subscribe, because here we don't flex. We decode how power really looks.